and then he had screenshotted his reply to someone that basically said the reason why her hair was so ratty is because they've been laid up in bed all morning canoodling. And where do you even find the time?
Yo, what is going on, guys? So I have a video for you here today of a woman who says that dating these days is absolute hell. Okay, she absolutely hates it. She's struggling. She's out here on the dating applications. And wouldn't you know it, it's men's fault, as always, right? Every single one of these videos with these women saying dating sucks, it's always the men's fault. They never take accountability for the types of men that they choose. And of course, guys, it's just the lack of good men that's causing all of these problems in dating. So take a look at this video. This is a woman obviously sitting in her car. She's going to be telling us about her Hinge, quote unquote, dating experience. And let's just see if we can point out some of the ridiculous crap that she does as we go through the video. So guys, don't forget to leave your comments and let's jump into it.
God, when I say it's hell out here and we are truly in the trenches in the dating world, I fucking mean it. So basically, last night I matched with this guy on Hinge. Now, let's all remember, people, it's a dating app. So I matched with this guy and we were only a couple of messages in, and then he asked for my Instagram. I'm no longer precious about my Instagram. It's not private. I don't have an awful lot on there anyway, so I'm happy to give it out. I don't really like talking on the apps anyway.
So the reason why, by the way, women are happy to give out their Instagrams is because they like having dudes as followers over there. All right. They like collecting orbiters. This is like, you know, women will hand over their phone numbers and their Instagrams and everything like this typically, guys, because they like the free attention. A lot of women will do this regardless of whether or not they're actually interested in you, by the way. You know, a lot of dudes think that, oh, she gave me her Instagram, that means she's interested. No, generally speaking, women give this crap out like it's candy because they're addicted to the free attention. In this case, though, I do think that she was attracted to the man. So let's continue.
So I gave him my Instagram. This, don't even want to call him a man, followed me, and like, honestly, if you had have given me 1,000 chances to guess what would have been on his Instagram, I never would have guessed this. So he had, I want to say, like 20 highlights, and like there was probably like 50 to 100 stories per highlight, and all of the highlights were different. I'm pretty sure they were like different locations across the UK. In these stories on his highlights were screenshots of women begging him to canoodle them, and then ones that he had canoodled complimenting him on how good he was at canoodling. As well as that, there were pictures of him laid up canoodling, and then videos as well of women shaking what their mama gave them. Immediately no.
Okay, so this dude is probably some Chad, right? He's probably some highly attractive guy who gets lots of attention on these apps by women. And then, of course, the women in their infinite wisdom go out there and they spend time with this man. Now, this is what women will tell you, okay? Women will tell you, oh, I would never do that. I'm after a man with morals, okay? I'm looking for a good man, and I would never stoop that low. Every single woman says this, and let's be real, guys, the same women saying this crap will rock up to some dude's house at 1 a.m. on a Thursday if she finds him attractive enough, okay? It doesn't actually matter. Now, of course, this woman has made this video to say, oh, how indignant that is, you know. So let's just continue here, see what she says about it. She says immediately no, guys, apparently.
Mama gave them. Immediately no. Like, sir, I'm not following you back. I am not being a part of this. I'm all good, thank you. I don't need the feature. So I obviously said this to him. I'm like, no, like, all good, thank you. Not trying to be one of your thirsty little hoes, but thank you. And he was like, oh, no, like, what do you mean? It's all fake. And I was like, it's not fake. And then he was like, oh, I shouldn't have given you my Instagram. I was like, that's not the problem here. That's really not the problem here. I think it's your attitude and what you're going around doing is the problem.
I want you guys to notice how she's still talking to him. You know, like this is the crap that women try and pull. Oh, you know, he's so terrible. His attitude towards women is awful. Yet they're still messaging him. They're still talking to him. They're still keeping the conversation going. I always find this funny, you know, when women they retell these stories to you and they try and paint it out like, you know, they're just letting the man know what a terrible attitude he has. You know what I do, guys, whenever somebody has a terrible attitude and I don't want to talk to them? Do you know what I do? I just don't talk to them. I don't continue having a conversation with these people. Okay. Now, I'm not on these dating applications. All right. But I certainly wouldn't be remaining matched to them, continuing a conversation. It's hilarious, you know?
I've given you my Instagram. I was like, that's not the problem here. That's really not the problem here. I think it's your attitude and what you're going around doing is the problem. So many women. And I get you're single, but fucking hell, is there not a limit?
I mean, why don't you ask the women this question? Okay? Like notice how she's roasting the dude for his attitude, okay? Because he's not getting into a relationship. He's out there having fun seeing a bunch of women. But we never seem to roast the women who are voluntarily there, by the way. Okay, we always roast the man, you know, oh, the man's disgusting, he's a pig, he's this, he's that, right? But we never talk about the fact that the women are voluntarily there. Nobody is forcing the women to be there. Nobody is forcing the women to match with him. Okay, nobody is forcing these women to do everything. As much as these women complain about being oppressed and about how, you know, they don't have the ability to make their own decisions, these are people who are adults. They make their own decisions, but they just don't like to take accountability for them.
Jesus wept. On top of that, 9 hours prior to him following me, he had posted on his story, it was the back of a woman's head, and I'm not going to lie, her hair was a bit fucking ratty, so then people were popping up to him saying about how messy her hair was, and then he had screenshotted his reply to someone that basically said the reason why her hair was so ratty is because they'd been laid up in bed all morning canoodling. And where do you even find the time? Where do you find the time? I feel like both parties are at fault here. That's not dating. Why are we putting this on Instagram? There are specific places you can do this kind of thing. But yeah, that was an interesting one. Bit of a character, him.
I love how she's like, that's not dating. You're supposed to get in a serious, committed, monogamous relationship. Why are these chads doing that? That's not real dating. Do you know why these men do this, by the way? Reason number one, because the women allow it. Okay. The women are choosing to be there, as I said earlier. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, a lot of these dudes who do this sort of behavior, they used to be the monogamous, long-term types who would do things by the book, okay? But they got punished for doing those behaviors. A lot of these quote-unquote bad boys, right? These dudes who are so terrible, who don't take dating seriously. A lot of these dudes are just previous guys who actually wanted to have a wife, who wanted to settle down, who wanted to have something serious, but they got hit with reality. They learned how the game worked. They started to understand how modern women operate. And to be honest, a lot of the modern women are not worth dating. They're simply not, guys. You know, again, these are women who are. This woman is complaining about dating, but I guarantee you, she is a serial dater. Okay, she's still single at whatever age this is. You know, so what have you been doing the entire time, madam? Are we allowed to ask that question? Because like so many of these women are single. You really think that these women are just celibate, you know, reading the Bible on Sundays? It's a joke. It's an absolute joke.
Why are we putting this on Instagram? There are specific places you can do this kind of thing. But yeah, that was an interesting one. Bit of a character, him. So the conversation didn't continue. And then also, he went and followed one of my friends on Instagram as well, which I thought was a bit peculiar. But yeah, very, very thirsty, horny people out there these days.
What's the bet, by the way, that her friend like told her about this man to begin with or something? You know, like it's funny how coincidental it is that all of the women just like seem to have interactions with the same man, But of course, it's just the man making it happen, right? It's just the man randomly following the friend, which, okay, granted, might have been the case. But let's be real, guys. There's a lot of these coincidences that float around where women just magically all seem to be interacting with the same man. They all seem to be following each other. Very, very strange indeed, right?
I don't know whether these girls were trying to like swoop in before he attempts to make it as a rapper, because he did have a Spotify link. Yeah, I mean, like, live yours and do you and everything, but Jesus Christ. Not what I was expecting. Anyway.
You gotta love how this warrants like a 3-minute plus video, by the way. Like, this woman, this is what she decided to do, okay? She decided to make a 3-minute long video about this particular guy and about how dating is hell. So one has to imagine that this is an average dating experience for a woman like this. Okay, this seems to be along the lines of the average dating experience for the average modern woman. And the reason why I find this so funny, the reason why I kind of rag on these videos and make light of them, is because women have the option to not do this. This isn't something that they're forced to do. This isn't something that somebody is making them do. They are voluntarily matching with these guys. They are voluntarily choosing these guys who they know are not going to take them seriously. They know that they're not going to be able to get that long-term relationship out of him. The reason why they're hooking up with him, matching him, whatever, is because he's attractive. They don't care about the morals. They don't care about the guy's values or his quote-unquote attitude, like, she brought up in this video here. They simply don't care. I think it's funny that they pretend to care and then they jump on here and make these 3-minute long videos. If women cared so much, there wouldn't be so many women, excuse me, in this dude's highlight to begin with over on Instagram. But guys, we're going to be calling it there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.